everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight for Transfer Online. My name is Pastor Danny. I'm the youth pastor here at CLC, and Transfer is the student ministry, 7th through 12th graders of Christian Life Cathedral. So this past week, I know the governor made an announcement that churches can begin meeting again, and many of you have been asking the question, what does that mean for Transfer? First of all, CLC, through much prayer, seeking guidance, and I believe wisdom, we've made the choice to not meet again corporately or all together until at least the first Sunday of June. Now, that means for Transfer that we probably won't meet together again all together until at least, that's kind of like the 10th of June. So I know that's a little ways away, and that may not be the exact information that you're hoping for, but I wanted to give you at least a little heads up that it might be a minute until we meet again, but that's okay. I wanted to take a second and just kind of walk through the sanctuary, walk through the building here, and show you this place that you've been missing. We miss you as much as you miss being here. And I can't wait to be back in that sanctuary, worshiping and praising Jesus with you. So this week, I know, is kind of a sad one for some of you seniors. This would have been graduation week. It would have been a time of celebration, a time of rejoicing. I know that many of you were looking forward to things like prom, the end of the school year, and even for those of you who are in band, who are athletes, who were in drama, there were plays and performances and games that you have missed out on at this point in your life. And those things, in a sense, are dead. They're gone. They're in the past. Things that we can't get back, things that we have to mourn, things that we've lost. And in this time of change, there's a story that I feel like the Lord reminded me of, and I want to share with you today. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm at least going to catch you up, and then we're going to read a little bit of the story. And it's found in John chapter 11. Now, Jesus had some really good friends in his life. Some of these people that I'm going to tell you about were like some of his very best friends. And one of those guys was Lazarus. Now, when we find Jesus in this story, some of Lazarus's and Jesus's friends sent word to Jesus that Lazarus was really sick. Now, I'm not just talking he had a cold. I'm not just talking he had the sniffles. Now, when they sent word to Jesus, they said, listen, your bro is about to die. Like, you need to come. These people had seen Jesus heal those who were sick, who were blind. They knew that Jesus had the ability to stop Lazarus from dying. And so if your best friend was sick, if your best friend needed something, they probably expect you to hurry and help them out. But that's not what Jesus did. Jesus stayed where he was at for a couple extra days, and then he left and started the journey. And at some point in there, Lazarus had passed away. And where we're going to pick up on in the story in here, Lazarus is already dead. And Jesus is approaching where Lazarus and his friends and Lazarus' family are. And we're going to pick up and read the story starting in John chapter 11, verse 30. Jesus had stayed outside the village at the place where Martha met him. When the people who were at the house consoling Mary saw her leave so hastily, they assumed that she was going to Lazarus' grave to weep. So they followed her there. When Mary arrived and saw Jesus, she fell at his feet and said, Lord, if only you had been here, my brother would not have died. I wonder if you're asking the same question about Jesus in this time frame. Jesus, if only you would have been here, my senior year would have been saved. Jesus, if only you had been here, I wouldn't have to be stuck in quarantine. Jesus, if only you had been here, my grandma wouldn't have been struggling with COVID-19. Jesus, if only you had been here, things would have gone according to the plan that I had. But let's see how Jesus responds to that. In verse 33, it says, when Jesus saw her weeping and saw the other people wailing with her, a deep anger welled up within him, and he was deeply troubled. Now, he's not angry at the people. He's angry at death. He's angry at sin. He's angry at sickness that takes things away. Where have you put him? He asked them. They told him, Lord, come and see. Then Jesus wept. The people who were standing nearby said, "See how much he loved him." But someone said, "This man healed a blind man. Couldn't he have kept Lazarus from dying?" Jesus was still angry as he arrived at the tomb, a cave with a stone rolled across its entrance. "Roll the stone aside," Jesus told them. But Martha, the dead man's sister, protested, "Lord, he has been dead for 4 days. The smell will be terrible." Jesus responded, "Didn't I tell you that you would see God's glory if you believe?" So they rolled the stone aside. Then Jesus looked up to heaven and said, "Father, thank you for hearing me. You always hear me, but I said it out loud for the sake of these people standing here so that they will believe you sent me." Then Jesus shouted, "Lazarus, come out." And the dead man came out, his hands and feet bound in grave cloths, his face wrapped in a headcloth. Jesus told them, "Unwrap him and let him go." Now, well, I'm not telling you here right now that Jesus is going to bring your senior year back to life. He's not going to bring that sports season that you lost back to life. He's not going to do things like that. But we have hope that Jesus will bring dead things back to life. Things that we thought we lost back to life. Now, many of you who have lost something in this time, I believe that Jesus is going to bring them back, but they're going to look a little bit different. The plan that he has for your life and in this season looks different than what you thought it should look like. The things that you thought Jesus should give you, the things that you thought you deserved, the things that you thought that you earned, it may not happen the way that you were hoping that it was going to happen, but I have faith that Jesus is going to bring some of those things that we thought we had lost back to life. And I love the fact that Jesus was so angry at death. Jesus was so angry at loss. He was so angry that he wept. He cried for the loss of this man. Now, I believe that Jesus right here is mourning with us for the things that we lost. I know that you are upset at the things that quarantine, that COVID-19 has taken away from you. And I believe that we have a Savior who cares even about the smallest things in our life. Now, our response should not be to just kind of sit back and pout and be upset and say, "God, why don't you care? I'm not going to trust you ever again." In fact, he tells us that we should believe when things get really hard, and then we will see God's glory. So I'm wondering today, where can you put your faith, put your trust in God, and watch him perform some miracle in your life where something that you thought was dead is now back to life? So trust him in this season. The things that you think are so hard and are so difficult, I think will produce the most beauty if you just trust him and let God be as slow or as fast as he wants to move in this season, and you'll see beautiful things come alive. Love you guys so much, and I can't wait to celebrate with you and experience some of the things that we thought we had lost come back to life. I love you guys. Let us know if you need anything. We're here for you.